Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Haritha and my kunya is Sulaim. Welcome to my channel. So, there is this prayer point that a lot of women reject, but if it's reversed, a lot of men accept. What is that? Yeah, that may you marry a man that behaves exactly like your father. A lot of women reject it. The Christians, usually when you check comment section for things like that, you will see that the Christians are casting and binding. Yeah, so which means that a lot of women don't want to marry anything like their father. And that is very sad. It's sad because these men that many women don't want as fathers for their own children were the father figures in the life of these men they would marry. And a lot of men saw how unjust their fathers were, yet their mother was everything a woman should be to him, consciously or unconsciously. Because when they are growing up, you see a lot of men, when they see what their mothers are going through, a lot of men would make the personal decision to be something different from their father. Do you understand? Because they see the pain, they see the injustice, they see the unfairness, against their mom. So they want to be different. Fast forward to adulthood, a lot of these men turn out exactly like their father. Consciously or unconsciously, they just become their fathers. Now there is an issue there. Now we have a recycled I don't want. We have a recycled I don't want. But where there is a mismatch is that a lot of women also swore not to be like their mother. So they are doing everything possible to make sure they are not like their mother because they thought that the kind of women their mothers were also contributed to the kind of father they had, the kind of husband he was to their mother, because a lot of women just, let things slide. There was no anything like, oh, this you're trampling on my right, just like, okay, just submit. Now, the danger in this shift as well is that we now have recycled men and a lineage of women that wasn't recycled. And consciously or unconsciously, these recycled men want a recycled woman. They want a recycled version of their mom. You see how complicated that is? Now, the prayer, may you marry someone who behaves like your dad. Women reject it. Now, tell men, may you marry someone who behaves like your mom. They will cut it. The problem now is that why you have recycled, why we have recycled men, a lot of women are not being recycled because white men saw it as, oh, this was bad against my mom. When it comes to them now doing it to the woman, they did not see anything wrong with it. They saw it to be wrong when what their mom was at the receiving end. But now that it's not their mom or their sister at the receiving end, but another person's child, there is that less feeling of, oh, what I'm doing is wrong. A lot of men will tell you, hey, if you know my father, I can never be like my father, and they are just exactly like their father. They don't know. You understand? As I said, consciously or unconsciously, it became a recycle. Now, the wahala with that is men are out there now, especially the recycled ones, are out there looking for the match. Because for these recycled men, the match would be a recycled woman from those women, because that was why it could work. One person had to be a predator and another had to be the prey. Do you understand? So that was why it worked. It's not healthy in any way or form, but it worked somehow. Now, you have also recycled yourself to a mini predator. You are seeking a prey, and there are no preys. There will be issues. Because for us not to have issues now, we would need men who deviated from the ways of their father and women who deviated from the ways of their mother to work. Even men who deviated from the ways of their father would still work with women who did not deviate. Because a woman who deviated is more aware of her rights. She will not take things that she should not take. I mean, it's not even Islam that you just turn yourself to whatever. No, no, it's not even Islam that you turn yourself to whatever. So, and it's not also Islam that you turn people into whatever. So, a woman who, within healthy boundaries, is able to say, no, this is how well you should treat me. She's also able to treat you well. And a man who has also understood that, oh no, I wouldn't want to treat my woman like this. I want to treat her this better. It will work. Do you understand? Now, for a man who has also decided to be different from the father and treat the wife right, and the woman who has chosen to be her mother by submitting, letting the man lead and all of that, the fact that this man is coming correct, it does not matter how submissive, how well, whatever this woman turns herself into for this man, it will work because the man will not abuse it. You understand? The man will not abuse her kindness. The man will not abuse her femininity. The man will not abuse her softness. Do you understand? So, what is the solution? Because that is what we have now. And the deviation in the quest of, in trying not to be like the women of the past, women are now overdoing it. Yes, we now have women with unhealthy feminist mentality. Because the fact that we had those crazy fathers, who were unjust, were unfair, who were bullies to those mothers, doesn't mean that who these mothers weren't who a mother should be. They were excessive. However, in trying to moderate, a lot of people has crossed the moderate level to extreme level, leaving the mothers and the past in this extreme end, and they are now at the extreme end. No, that's not Islam as well. Islam is all about balance. So where we should find ourselves, where we should place ourselves, both men and women, is the middle ground. The middle course is it in Islam. Even when it comes to the affairs of practicing the deen, if you overwhelm yourself with it, my brother, my sister, you're on your own. If you also underdo, or let me say underwhelm yourself, you would lose out. So the middle course is it for us. And in every aspect of our life, we need to strive for that middle course. So as this is a call to men and to women, objectively, ask yourself, what were those things your daddy did that when it was your mom in question, you didn't like it, but you're doing to your wife now? There were men who, back then, because of the chaotic polygynous nature of their home, they swore not to have anything to do with polygyny. The polygyny was mishandled. So they saw it. They saw the evil in it because their mothers were at the receiving end. But now they have gone into that chaotic polygyny too, but they are not seeing it because they are the one dishing out and not receiving now. They were receiving back then as the children of these women, So there was also, diabolical practices. So a man could totally abandon a family, a wife and, her children and focus on one. So the children of this abandoned woman would be like, polygyny is no. Even if there is going to be polygyny, it has to be done well so that no one is at the receiving end of it. So when they now get into this polygyny, they do not, like I said, they do not have the father figure or father representative of a man who handled polygyny well. So they don't know what it takes to handle polygyny well. They do not have that experience. They do not have the the example. So what they know was how it was mishandled. So even though they intended to do it well, they now get there. Any little challenge, they lose it. And I'm calling it little challenge because there is no polygyny without challenge. There is no perfect polygyny out there. We're just seeking positivity. The perfection, even in monogamy, there's no perfection. So there's no perfection anywhere. Do you understand? So what is the solution? Wallah, the solution is Islam. The solution is that we all go back to the drawing board. Do you understand? Of what Allah, then His Rasul, has set. That is the only solution. That, okay, this is the limit of the woman. This is the limit of the man. This is what the man can do. This is how he should do it. This is, there are rules, there are guides For the woman as well, this is it. So you're not going to say because you're married to two women now, oh, this is the one you love more, that you now abandon the rest for. You will all go back to the drawing board. You're not going to say, oh, because your mother suffered, because she was a submissive woman, so nothing will make you a submissive wife. Yes, we are all going back to the drawing board. The drawing board is that of the Quran and the Sunnah. That's the board. So we all go back to it. When we all come back to the drawing board, it's not going to be devoid of issues because we cannot even do everything on the board. You understand? But it's going to lessen issues for us and it's going to give us a pathway to success and to ease. You understand? So if also as a man, when we go back to the drawing board, you know that, okay, as a man, I am 101% responsible for all the basic responsibility, the clothing, the housing, the feeding of my wife and children, regardless of whether she's working and any millions or not. The responsibility is on you. Now you'll be able to also gauge yourself. Am I qualified for polygyny? Have I been able to give the right of this one I have before seeking to extend this right to another? Voila, until we all go back to the drawing board and individual accountability until we get to that point, we would have issues in every aspect of our lives, to be honest. Assalamu alaikum.